Only one type of burger. For every pallet. Fries are extra. Large in size. We've got the shakes. Going over the brim.
Hey, this is Chris from JCW's. Put a positive, delicious spin on your day at any one of our 5 locations. In Lehigh, American Fork, Provo, South Jordan, or Harriman. JCW's, quality and a lot of it.
Looking for music that lifts your spirit and fills your heart? Experience the powerful sound of the Tabernacle Choir at Temple Square. Now streaming on all your favorite music platforms. Find the Tabernacle Choir on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, Amazon Music, and Pandora. Let the music of the Tabernacle Choir at Temple Square inspire you today and every day. Whether you're at home, in the car, or on the go, enjoy the beauty of their world-renowned sound anytime. The Tabernacle Choir at Temple Square, streaming now.
It's time to get your morning started with the news you need to know.
News update.
This is what's trending with DJ and PK. Hashtag Utah Jazz.
This is a wins and losses business, and I recognize that. But for us to get to where we want to go, we have to learn how to play winning basketball really consistently. And I think the guys are getting so much better. But more importantly than that, the connection of the group, going through hard moments together is going to allow us to really savor and enjoy the good ones. These guys are a real team. They root for each other. The environment in our building every day and in our locker room here is one of the best I've ever seen.
There's Will Hardy. All sorts of fired up and positive after the 76ers beat the Jazz 126-116. You're always looking box scores for the numbers that jump out at you, PK. Ace Bailey blocking 5 shots. Good grief. Look at him go. Let him play center. And Bez Bang. Give the G League guy 45 minutes to make sure you take an L in the fourth quarter. It was a 1-point game going to the fourth quarter, but the Sixers pull away and win.
Okay.
45 minutes is a long time to play Bang. I approve.
Well, they played the game before. Andy Garcia played for all 48.
That a kid. Let's go.
And then he didn't play a minute in this game, right?
Yep. Sat him.
Yeah, I don't know about how these guys root for each other and all. Who are we talking about? Because most of the guys that played aren't going to be in the league or at least be on this team, except for Kennedy Chandler, who clearly it's his team now.
The show runs through Kennedy?
Yeah.
37 minutes for Kennedy Chandler. He got his fair share of time out there to show what he can do.
The only thing I care about, because obviously Ace Bailey will be on the team and probably Williams and Philipper will be on there, is that the Lion King is on next year. Because he just being there with that lion tat shows toughness. Even if he never does anything, we got good for the Lion King.
It's good for the soul of the team.
Yeah.
Tonight, the Utah Jazz welcome in the Toronto Raptors. Probably the best team they're facing in this 4-game homestand. They've been playing 500 ball lately. They don't have really bad losses, it looks like, looking at their last 10 or 12 games. So assume Toronto will be able to get it done tonight. Tip off at 7. Pre-game at 6 with Jake Scott and Tim Lacombe right here on The Zone.
Hashtag NBA.
To be in the same category with the greats, like I've said, a lot of these guys have inspired me to come out here and work on my game as much as I can and contribute to a team in a positive way. So I've been inspired by all of these players that I'm either coming close to or passing up. And MJ is in the world of his own. He's in a planet, a galaxy of his own, and somebody that I look up to, respect, and who basically shaped the game for me. So grateful for everybody that invested in me, on my friends, family, teammates, coaches. I couldn't be here without them.
That's Kevin Durant after he passed Michael Jordan for 5th place on the NBA's all-time scoring list.
Which is meaningless.
Less. I assume you were pretty excited to find out LeBron has now played in more games than Robert Parrish. Number 1 on the all-time games played list. We got a couple of future Hall of Famers moving up the list here late in their career.
That list doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Not in the NBA. There's only one thing that matters.
Championships.
Yeah. If you're going to cite stats and all.
Count the rings. Count the titles.
I'm not so sure that Toronto is a guaranteed W. They lost to Phoenix, and Phoenix had lost 4 in a row.
Yeah.
And they played last night.
The back-to-back thing, that is worrisome, yes.
So,
they were in Phoenix last night.
I don't know that it's a guarantee.
Oklahoma City Thunder expecting to get Jalen Williams back from injury tonight against the Sixers. He's been out 5.5 weeks with a hamstring, so get him back and get him a little playing time before the playoffs start. Tank Watch 2026. Kings pick up win number 19. They beat the Brooklyn Nets 126-122. They're 2 wins behind the Jazz. They're sitting on 21. DJ and PK.
Hashtag college basketball.
For a spot in the Sweet 16. Koch calls the break. Sturts sprints to the ball. Gets fed up the right sideline. Into the front court. Bounce Fulgaris. He pops a jumper. Got it! It's a three for the lead! Florida makes the floor down 1. 3.9. And Iowa wants timeout. No fouls. Inbound comes to Darling. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. Darling on the drive. To the rim. Layup is good! Layup is good! St. John's wins it. 67-65. The St. John's Red Storm storm into the Sweet 16 for the first time since 1999.
2 games in the second round yesterday, going down to the final seconds as 5-seeded St. John's gets win number 30 and moves into the Sweet 16 with that bucket at the buzzer, and then the big 3 for Iowa as the number 1 seeded Florida Gators go down to defeat 73-72. Were you entertained by that second round, PK?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Sure. Yeah. Obviously, those two games that you mentioned, so the games that were close, the Aggies were close, and so yeah, absolutely, it was a good day of basketball. I don't understand why they have 2 games during the day and 14 at night.
That seemed like a little too much, didn't it?
Yeah. Spread it out a little bit.
Could have used a third game there earlier on TNT. That would have been okay. But it's not the way they plan it. Texas, the 11th seed, has done it. They've won 3 games in a week. They did the first 4 thing. They got BYU, and they take down the Zags 74-68 Saturday. You surprised to see them? That is the worst, most poorly seeded team that is still alive as an 11.
You know, I didn't follow them until they got in front of BYU, and I thought they looked good. And Gonzaga, you know, I think the NIL has taken a hit because everybody can pay guys now.
We got more on Utah State coming up. They get beat. Good battle there. They dug themselves a pretty big hole. Crazy to think they'd come back from 18. They did get it to 4 on 3 different occasions, but couldn't get any more. But did they get everything they could out of that season? That is a question of the day, and we will hit that coming up in our next segment. You're not surprised they went out in the second round, but I suppose few people are surprised they went out in the second round once they saw the brackets. But you were talking about that a couple weeks ago with the Mountain West. You could kind of see this coming.
Well, it happens to Utah State virtually every year.
Yep.
If they win, I thought they could win a first round, and they did.
Yeah.
And I thought they had a shot against Arizona. I mean, Calhoun keeps talking about the 9 seed, and I didn't hear Iowa talk about the 9 seed.
And they're through. BYU women basketball playing Missouri tonight in the WBIT. That's on ESPN+. DJ and PK.
The Bleacher Report app is your destination for sports. Right now, the NBA's heating up, March Madness is here, and MLB is almost back. Every day there's a new headline, a new highlight, a new moment you've got to see for yourself. That's why I stay locked in with the Bleacher Report app. For me, it's about staying connected to my sports. I can follow the teams I care about, get real-time scores, breaking news, and highlights all in one place. Download the Bleacher Report app today so you never miss a moment.
Hashtag NFL.
Super Bowl 62 in Atlanta, February of 2028. They don't have a date for that game yet. And it's unheard of to be less than 23 months away from a Super Bowl and not know when it's going to be played. The reason they don't have a date, I'm told, they're holding it open in case they get to 18 games by 2027 and they need to slip it back a week or so. You throw in 2 buys and then it gets even more complicated. So that's why there isn't a date. And it tells me that now that J.C. Treader has been installed, I think they're going to move quickly to try to get a deal that would include 18 regular season games, 16 annual international games. Get it done now. We see the NFL moving on the broadcast deals. I think this is a time of aggressive business deal making by the NFL. And One other wrinkle, because it could be hard to sell 18 to the rank and file. There's an idea floating around, 18 games, every player limited to 17 games.
That's Mike Florio there covering the NFL on why there's no date for the Super Bowl in Atlanta. Is it going to move back a week to President's Day weekend? Will they move it 2 weeks past that? Will they start the season earlier? All that has to be figured out. They're going to need to reserve a few hotel rooms, so they better get on with it. You ready for an 18-game NFL season, PK? I didn't feel like we needed 17, but feels like we're going to get 18 here at some point.
I don't see the need, but if they want to make more money, which everybody does,
they're going to.
Because it's not like you play 12 games, and if teams are locked in or locked out and they're playoff position or non-playoff position, then that game becomes meaningless no matter how many games you play. You can play 40.
New York Giants running back Cam Skattebo apologized for comments during a recent interview in which he downplayed CTE and asthma. He's asked by the host of the Bring the Juice podcast where he thinks CTE is real, and he said, no, it's an excuse. And went on to say asthma's fake too. You're just soft. Skattebo later added about asthma, a condition he has per his mom. So.
Well, I think he was joking around, and so some people took it seriously. So he apologized.
The NFL draft in Pittsburgh is going to have kids in grade school in the city attending classes online from April 22nd to the 24th. The city expects an influx of 700,000 visitors for the draft and all the festivities they build around it. Pittsburgh built for that kind of tourism? I've never been to Pittsburgh. You have because you did the ballpark thing there.
Yeah, I've been there multiple times, but I just hope that everybody has access to internet. We saw that when they decided that 7-year-olds needed to stay home for a year.
And not everybody has the web, so what are you going to do, right?
Yeah.
How do you do it online if your family doesn't have it?
That was a brilliant decision.
49ers passed on exercising a $10 million option on star left tackle Trent Williams' contract and saw his cap hit rise to $47 million. The club has plans to reach a new deal with Williams to rework his deal ahead of the NFL draft next month and ensure he has guarantees beyond this season with the team. Work out keeping the vet who's been the linchpin to their offensive line. DJ and PK.
Hashtag Major League Baseball.
Seattle Mariners left fielder Randy Arozarena apologized to teammate Cal Raleigh for his profanity-laced tirade directed at Raleigh during the World Baseball Classic over a perceived slight between the two during an at-bat between USA and Mexico. He said, I understand that with opening day a few days away, I don't want it to be a distraction. Cal and I have talked. I apologize for what I said after the game. Nothing in the WBC takes away from the fact that we're brothers and teammates. So we can move on from that. Can you greet your teammate when he's catching and you step into the box? Carefully.
What a controversy.
Yeah.
I think this will derail their season. If not their franchise, they probably move. Maybe they move to Milwaukee like the Seattle Pilots did.
Milwaukee needs a second team.
Hold on, what?
Dodgers star Shohei Ohtani, the World Baseball Classic uniform he wore in Japan's 13-0 win over Taiwan, auctioned off for $1.5 million. The most ever paid for an Ohtani jersey at auction. DJ and PK.
Hashtag golf.
Matthew Fitzpatrick wins the Valspar Championship by one shot. 11 under, edges David Lipsky. Tony Finau tied for 18th at 4 under. Patrick Fishburne tied for 46th, and Zach Blair missed the cut. I was locked in on basketball, didn't see much. Saw Fitzpatrick made a clutch putt down the stretch.
I'm glad you're locked in on basketball because that's who you are, man. You're a basketball guy, and you're just locked into it. You're ready here to serve this community the best you can through basketball. I appreciate that.
Not sure if service to the community was in front of my mind, but what the heck? Even though it was laden with sarcasm, I'll take it. Who cares?
We're in KSL paraphernalia every day now.
Not every day, but today.
You wore the jacket every day during the winter.
It was cold in here last week. What happened?
I don't know.
It was all.
I was only here 2 days.
Had it all pulled together, and then all of a sudden Thursday. Yikes!
Well, I was the one who discovered Matthew Fitzpatrick in the
U.S.
U.S.
Open.
Open.
That was your big victory in the predictions game with Bob and I.
Yeah, it was awesome. And really indicative of who I am, though.
Serving the community with brilliant golf picks.
I'm not here to serve the community. I'm here to serve and entertain myself.
Which you just did right there. Golf League Finals tonight. Jupiter Golf League's LA Golf Club. They begin tonight. Is this a 2-day extravaganza, Yak?
It's a best of 3 series.
Oh, my God.
Tonight, tomorrow, and Wednesday if needed.
ESPN 2, 7 o'clock. DJ and PK.
Hashtag RSL.
Gozo walking it across midfield. Diagonal ball forward for Salons. He turns into space, plays a square ball to the near side. RSL trying to get numbers forward. Here's a clipped-in ball. Header, far post. Yes, and a goal. Great service from Sanabria. And the header is in. Salons with the goal, and RSL has the lead in the 17th minute. Caliscan 30 yards from goal to the near side to Giavogi. Giavogi recycles in front through the box. And headed in. Yes, Victor Latuja at the far post. And it's 2-2. And it finishes 2-2. They split the points in San Diego. Lots of opportunities. There could have been a 5th, 6th, or 7th goal. Both goalkeepers came up big. 4 unbeaten for RSL. They're on 10 points through 5 games. And usually if you can average 2 points a game, you're in pretty good shape. Of course, right now, they're in 6th place because a bunch of teams in the West are off to fantastic starts.
It's early.
They got a bye week now.
Still got like a year and a half to go, don't we?
Roughly.
I mean, I'm glad Salazzo got in there and got a goal.
Salazzo. Godfather reference. DJ and PK.
Hashtag NHL.
Marino picked his pocket. Some sticky fingers in front. They score! Johnny Appleseed with the assist to Lawson Krause, and it's 1-0. Keller shoots. Awkward save up high by Kemper. Stolen by Schmaltz, and he scores! Break out the bench press. Nick Schmaltz just muscled that into the net. Zenlin gets a stick on it and finds Sergachev. Out with Schmaltz, a 2-on-2. Schmaltz in with Sergachev. Schmaltz shoots and scores! Nick Schmaltz walks it off for the Mammoth.
Utah Mammoth beat the LA Kings in overtime. 4-3. Nick Schmaltz, the winner. Lawson Krause had the first 2 goals. Schmaltz the next 2. 2 big points in the playoff race as we get down inside less than a dozen games to go now. Mammoth are back at it tomorrow night against Edmonton. That was one of the teams chasing in PK. Big W right there.
Shouldn't it be a skates it off rather than walks it off?
Yeah, I can see your point.
Ooh, good call.
To check with that with Mike on
Yeah,
that
bring
one.
it up with him tomorrow.
Yeah, because in baseball it's a walk off, or basketball it's a walk. They literally walk.
That's what they do.
But I think he's got to have it skates it off.
Mammoth and Oilers tomorrow. Capitals legend Alex Ovechkin. 1,000 career goals. That's a nice round number. They did lose to Colorado in overtime 3-2, but he hits 1,000 goals. That's what's trending. Brought to you by Shamrock Plumbing. There's no job too big or too small. Get the personal touch with Shamrock Plumbing. Steve Cleveland, former BYU basketball coach at 8 o'clock. Ken Pomeroy, KenPom.com at 9 o'clock. We'll talk NCAA tournament with them. Put a wrap on the Aggie season next with the question of the day. Stay with us right here on The Zone.
The Bleacher Report app is your destination for sports. Right now, the NBA is heating up, March Madness is here, and MLB is almost back. Every day there's a new headline, a new highlight, a new moment you've got to see for yourself. That's why I stay locked in with the Bleacher Report app. For me, it's about staying connected to my sports. I can follow the teams I care about, get real-time scores, breaking news, and highlights all in one place. Download the Bleacher Report app today so you never miss a moment.